What's up, guys? Thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and let's get a little spicy, okay? We got to talk about some things as it pertains to Real Housewives of Miami. So let's get into it. All right, y'all. So, first up, we got to talk about Miss Yulia, aka Julia, all right? So, the first thing I want to talk about is Julia made this post on the day of part two of the reunion saying this: "The truth will always set you free. Grateful for the people by my side through it all at Bravo TV, at Peacock, hashtag RHOM." And it was a slideshow of her pictured with Kiki and Larsa. The next slide was a picture of her with Alexia and Marisol. And then the last picture was with her and Andy. And what I find interesting about this is I'm excited for season 8 because I want to see how Julia's friendships with these women play out. Because right now, everybody's cool. Everybody is like, yeah, we rocking with her. But I definitely feel like next season, Julia Julie gonna have a rough season if she comes back, if they don't give her the pink slip. Because I've been hearing, the rumblings on the Bravo streets that they are looking at getting rid of possibly one or two full-time housewives and maybe a friend of. So I don't know who would get the boot or who, right now it's just speculation, but that's what they're saying on the streets. And I could very well see them getting rid of Julia because her plan backfired. And you could tell, like, throughout the episode that she was trying to think of ways to, like, regroup. But I was like, yeah, girl, you should have thought this out a little bit more. A little bit more, okay? So continuing on with Julia's slideshow, somebody on Instagram got in her comments and they added Adriana. And this is the question that they asked. They said, "What did at Adriana's cooch taste like?" Asking for a friend. So then Adriana responded to this person saying she wishes she didn't get it to taste, but I can tell you it tastes like the nectars of the gods. I said, come on, Greek mythology. I don't believe Adriana. They definitely had sex. And you ain't gonna get me to think that they did not. Because two things. When Adriana admitted that there was petting and she would not specify where, I said, oh yeah, girl, you let her touch you down below. And then when she screamed out during this part of the reunion, are you missing my friendship or my pretty little pussy? I said, oh, girl, because let me tell you something. Nobody is screaming that out if they did not sleep with somebody, because she would have phrased it differently. She would have said, do you want my friendship or do you want my pretty little, PUSSY? Because that would have shown that, hey, we didn't mess around. But the fact that she said, are you missing it? Yeah, you let her either taste or stick something in there. Okay, because nobody is screaming that out unless they allow somebody to taste them or to stick something in them or stick themselves in them. So I don't believe Adriana, no matter how badly she was trying to downplay it. Okay, and honestly, Larsa was vindicated. Snaps for Larsa, okay? Because Larsa brought this up, I want to say last season, either season 5 or season 6, when they were on that yacht and they were filming, what's her name? Adriana's music video on the yacht. Larsa let it be known that a friend came to her and was like, oh, I saw Julia down at the bar making out with somebody. And it's definitely giving that Julia be laying it low and spreading it wide, like the old people say. Because, girl, a mortician, a cop, yo, Adriana's like your best friend, girl. Oh, it's giving you be out here in these streets, okay? And so I just want to give Larsa her props. So I'm gonna play the clip because Gertie and Julia tried to act like Larsa made it up, and I was like, girl, it's giving she was telling the truth the whole entire time.
Someone called me a week ago and told me you were making out with a man.
I was making out with a man?
Yeah. Someone called me a week ago and said you were making out with someone at the surf club at the Four Seasons. And I said,
I wasn't even there.
is that crazy?
Totally
Was
crazy.
with the guy, I don't know, it was like a designer.
Right. Yes, he's our best friend. Yes, he's like
so you made out with someone?
made out.
Larsa is vindicated. The larcenists are up. But this is always kind of funny to me. In a sense of like when people get caught in lies and then there's proof, like the whole situation with Wendy and Eddie. I did do a spicy corner about that. If you're interested in that video, please check it out on the channel. But it's like now I'm starting to see people bring up the what was it? The reunion with Nicki Minaj, and she was asking Wendy questions. I've seen people bring up the interview she did with Gibson Johns, where he asked her about her burglary, and everyone's like, girl, you was, they're sifting through and picking apart that situation. Also, people have gone back and looked at old episodes of Potomac, and it's like people are doing the same thing with Julia now that it's been outed that she's been messing around with a Haitian mortician, a cop, and now a designer, girl. And I'm like, ooh. But honestly, I don't think this was a smart move on Julia's part, because now the streets are alleging that Martina is contacting divorce lawyers. So this was posted by the Real Housewives Zone, and it says Martina Navratilova allegedly in contact with divorce lawyers after Julia Lemigova's infidelity made public. The marriage is close to game, set, match for Martina. So they're saying that they contacted or was messaged by someone close to the family. And girl, and Julia was just talking about how her and Martina have really gotten closer since the adoption and how it's brought their family together. And now this is and it's like, dang, Julia, your plan completely blew up in your face, girl. So the last thing we're going to talk about is Adriana, because she was cutting up all across the internet streets. Okay, after part 2 of the reunion. So the first thing I saw that was posted by her in her Insta stories was a repost from Queens of Bravo, where it says this: in unforeseen footage, Julia is shown being completely unhinged and banging her chair at Dr. Nicole's Mamacita's luncheon. This is crazy. So then Adriana posted on top of that, she put at Julia Roberts. I said, pretty woman, Julia Roberts. Why did you add her? And she says, don't miss the real truth being revealed tonight. And I said, why did you add Julia Roberts? But I think she messed up the name. And I was like, are you going to take this down and repost it? I don't know. But that tickled me. Then the next thing she posted in her Insta story was this. It says, the reunion part 2 is now streaming at Peacock. And it was a coffee maker. I said, oh, this was a good one. And then the last thing I saw that Adriana posted was her with the heart that she gave to Julia as a gift at the reunion, saying my Halloween costume for this year. And it looks AI generated a little bit. Or maybe she's taking pictures. I don't know. The hair bow looks fake to me. But Julia said she looked pretty like Snow White. But I said, girl, this is messy. Very messy. Julia just made the wrong move. Like, completely made the wrong move, because what if you and Martina do get a divorce? Like, are y'all going to actually have to separate custody, or is she just going to allow you to have the boys full time? Or is Martina so infatuated with those children that she will find a way to take them kids away from you, and she'll just be a single mother and have somebody else help her take care of them kids? I don't know, but I feel bad for the boys, because it's like, they're already adopted. They've already settled in with the thought of having these two women as their parents. And now this. And I'm like, this is a lot of change for them. And this could also be re-traumatizing them. And it's just like, Julia, Girl, this wasn't a good move. But also I didn't like how like the some of the women were trying to absolve Adriana in her part in this, because at the end of the day Julia is married, but Adriana also knew she was married and was actively engaging in a sexual relationship with a married woman. Like, is she just as culpable as Julia? No, because at the end of the day, Julia's vows were set to Martina, but still you knowingly engaged in a relationship with somebody that you knew was married. And to say that you respect Martina and love her, you don't love her or respect her because you decided to have an intimate sexual relationship with her wife. There's no love and respect there. So like I don't think Adriana is on the same level of like blame, because again, she did not marry Martina, but you still willfully engaged in a relationship with somebody knowing that they were married. So you to me also are wrong and bad. But hey, be on the lookout for my review because it is coming and we got some things to get into because the reunion was pure chaos for the first 30 minutes. But that's all I got for you guys. As always, remember to be really authentic. Definitely hop down in the comments below and like the video and subscribe. And I'm out, y'all. Deuces.